our discussion. Okay, so once again, good evening. So we will discuss class the evidence, okay, the rules and evidence. So kasi natapos na natin ang PCGS, Book 1, Criminal Procedure, and then we also done, tapos na rin tayo for what we call the, of course, ang natira na lang, evidence book 1, ay book 2 rather. So yun na lang yung focus natin. Okay, so tandaan niyo ang rules of evidence, nagsa-start yan sa Rule 128 to Rule 134. Again, ang rules of evidence, nagsa-start yan sa Rule 128 to Rule 134. Of course, meron tayong mnemonics na ginagamit yan. So para mas malaman ninyo, or para hindi kayo magkamali pagdating ng board exam. Okay, so ang 7 rules of evidence natin, okay, so meron tayong mnemonics dito, GWRBPWP, o yung tinatawag natin na Great Women Ruled Are Born to Pack with Peak. Okay, yan yung ginagamit ng Crime Coach Philippines. Great women ruled are born to pack with peak. So yan yung 7 rules of evidence natin. GW, RBP, WP. Okay, so gawin niyo yan sa inyong mga kung saan kayo ngayon. So GW, RBP, WP. So great women ruled are born to pack when peak. So yan yung 7 rules of evidence natin. So ayan, GW, RBP, WP. Okay? So nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo? Wait lang, tingnan ko. I-change muna natin. I-pause ko muna ang recording. Okay, so again, under the rules of evidence, we have the 7 rules of evidence. So that is from Rule 128 to the Rule 134. Okay, so we have 7. So ang tanda nyo lang dyan, yung acronym natin na GW, RBP, WP, or the Great Women Ruled Are Born to Pack when Peak. Okay? So GW, RBP, WP. So i-practice niyo dyan, class. So para yan yung mga tandaan ninyo pagdating ng board exam. Okay? So, of course, sa ibang mga students, hindi nila yan ma-memorize since wala silang strategy or methods kung paano natin i-memorize yan. Okay? So, great women ruled are born to pack when peak. GW, RBP, WP. So, yan yung 7 rules of evidence natin. Okay, so of course, class, yung letter G, that is Rule 128, tandaan nyo, yung letter G that stands for General Provisions. Again, yung Rule 128, that is letter G, General Provisions. Ang Rule 129 naman, class, that is what need not be proved. Then Rule 130, yung tinatawag natin na letter R, it stands for Rules of Admissibility of Evidence. Rule 1T1 naman, we have the burden of proof and presumption. Rule 132, that is perpetuation of witness. Rule 133, weight and sufficiency of evidence. And of course, yung Rule 134, perpetuation of testimony. So mamaya i-explain natin yan one by one, class. Kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga every rules na yan. Okay, so of course, ulitin natin. So evidence, we have the Rule 128 to Rule 134. So 7 yan sila, class. So pwede nyo tandaan yung acronym na GW, RBP, WP. So nakalagay naman dyan, di ba? So GW, RBP, WP, or ito yon yung Great Women Ruled Are Born to Pack when Peak. So yan yung 7 rules of evidence natin. So again, ulitin natin yung G, that is general provisions. Ang 129 naman, what need not be proved. Ibig sabihin, ano yung mga hindi dapat i-prove, which is common na sa judge. Okay, so mamaya malalaman ninyo yung tinatawag natin na what need not be proved. Then of course, we have the rules of admissibility of evidence. We have the burden of proof and presumption na tinatawag natin, o yung tinatawag natin na onus probandi. Then we have the perpetuation of witness. Malalaman natin mamaya kung sino si witness and what are the 2 types of witness. Then we have the weight and sufficiency of evidence needed, class, to convict a person. And of course, the Rule 134 naman, that is the perpetuation of testimonies, of course, of the witness. Okay, nasundan nyo ba yung 7 rules of evidence? Nasundan nyo ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. let's move on. So dapat mamaya, so ano nyo yan? So yung 7 rules of evidence natin. Okay, so ano ko muna. Okay, wait lang. Bakit tayo? Bakit ayaw niya? Ay, okay. Mali. Wait lang class. Ano natin, print screen. Okay, so ayaw niya. So let's move on sa next. Okay, then of course, we have the different sources class of our rules of evidence. Of course, number 1, yung rules of court natin or the ROC. Okay, yung rules of court natin, that is from Rule 128 to Rule 134. Yes, Christopher, mamaya na, ay ano na lang. Hindi pa naman official, but then, ano na, meron ng okay, nanggaling sa loob yung pinaka ano doon. So, nagbabago, of course, sa February daw. So, not official pa. Huwag niyo ipagkalat muna ha. Pero of course, kagaling ko na ng Manila. Yan yung trending doon. Kasi nga, of course, nabago na. Okay. Sige. Hindi po ba nalipat ang slide? Okay na ba? Okay na?
Yes, sir. Okay na po.
Okay, sige. So yung bagong schedule ng ano class but of course, kapag yung pinaka-reliable source kasi yung nagsabi doon sa loob, so of course, totoo yan. Okay? So palaging nangyayari yan. So kapag sila na yung ano doon, automatic, totoo yung ating but of course, okay lang yan sa inyo, advantage yan kasi of course, meron pa kayong mga preparations or mas matagal pa yung preparations ninyo. Okay? Sige. Then of course, again class, ito yung sources ng evidence natin. Of course, the Constitution. So, isa pa pala class dapat din naka-full screen. Hindi ba naka-full screen?
Hindi, sir.
Hindi ba? Wait lang stop share ko na lang. Then, i-share ko ulit. Okay. So, ayan. Nakita na?
Okay na, sir.
Opo.
Okay, sige again. So dapat number 2, dapat meron kayong constitution kasi that is the best review materials na dapat meron kayo. Dapat mag-download kayo sa of course sa Play Store nyo makikita yan. So ang constitution, okay, that is the best. Bakit may tumutunog? Wait lang class, tingnan ko muna. Okay, so again, of course, class, dapat make sure na meron kayong constitution sa mga cellphone niyo. Of course, kasi yan yung best. Kapag kasi merong mga, halimbawa, medyo contradicting or conflicting yung mga laws natin. So dapat, babalik tayo at babalik sa Constitution. So yung mga binabasa niyo na amnesty, pardon, lahat nandoon yan sa Constitution. Kaya palagi ko ina-advise sa mga students ko na ito yung Constitution, isa sa mga the best review materials na dapat meron yung isang estudyante. Then of course, number 3, we have the special laws. Yan yung mga special laws natin kasi of course, ang mga example niyan, the Republic Acts, mga presidential decrees, and so on. Those are the special laws. Pag sinabi kasi natin special laws, of course, ano yan, hindi natin matatagpuan yan sa revised penal code. Kasi ang nakalagay sa revised penal code, ang tawag natin doon are general laws or yung tinatawag natin felony, di ba? So ang special law naman, of course, kapag na-violate mo yung mga Republic Act, halimbawa 9165 or yung sa drugs. So ang tawag natin doon sa mga Republic Acts, mga presidential decrees and so on, those are special laws. Okay? Special laws yun. Then of course, we have the revised penal code or the general law. Okay, so ang revised penal code or the general law or what we call the, of course, the penal law of the state. Then of course, we have the civil code. Okay, ang civil code, tandaan ninyo, we have Republic Act 386, that is the counterpart class of criminal law natin dito sa Pilipinas or the revised penal code. So, Civil Code of the Philippines. So, please make sure we have Republic Act 386. So, that is the Civil Code of the Philippines. Then, of course, we have the jurisprudence. Kumbaga, ang mga jurisprudence class, those are decided cases na meron tayo, okay, dito sa Pilipinas. Of course, yung mga decided cases ng Supreme Court, okay? Yun yung mga tinatawag natin na different landmark cases or jurisprudence. Then of course, we have the Supreme Court circulars, okay, mga Supreme Court circulars natin. So yan yung mga sources class of evidence. So ayan. Then of course, let's move on now to the next slide. Then of course, we have, i-define natin ngayon class kasi konti lang naman talaga yung coverage ng evidence. So, magpo-focus tayo doon sa pinaka-basic, okay? Kasi yun yung palaging tinatanong sa board exam. Of course class, sa definition pa lang ng subject natin or yung sa evidence mismo, marami na tayong makukuha dyan. Okay, marami nang itatanong dyan ng PRC. Okay? Pag sinabi kasi nating evidence, it is part of substantive law and adjective law. So mamaya, i-explain natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng dalawa na yan. Then pag sinabi nating evidence class, it is a summary. We have, pag sinabi nating evidence, same in all court. Ibig sabihin ng pag-offer ng evidence is the same. Halimbawa sa MTC, same yan sa RTC. Kasi di ba, or same rin yan sa CA and Supreme Court. Kasi evidence is the same in all court. In whether it is in criminal case, in civil, and of course in the administrative case. So yan yung tinatawag natin na scope ng evidence or evidence is the same in all courts. Then of course, we have the three kinds of evidence class. Again, we have the three kinds of evidence. So meron tayong acronym dyan na DOT. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin or DOT stands for? Ano yon? Paki-comment sa ating chat box class. Ano ibig sabihin ng DOT? Yan yung acronym natin class. Sige, ilagay ninyo. Okay. Okay, so very good. So that is documentary, object, and of course, testimonial. Again, so we have the DOT, documentary, object, or testimonial. Okay, very good. So that is, bakit kaya na? Wait lang, i-off na natin. I-close ko muna yung class. Tumutunog yung naka-open siguro yung kanina hindi ko nakita. Okay, so ulitin natin. Okay, so again, as a summary, so we have the DOT. So again, ang DOT, so that is documentary, object, and of course, the testimonial evidence. So yan yung mga, the three kinds of evidence natin, which is the focus, of course, ng subject natin na evidence. Okay, so the three kinds of evidence, we have the documentary, object, and of course, the testimonial evidence. Okay? So, yan yung three kinds of evidence natin, DOT. Tandaan nyo, class, magkaiba yung tinatawag natin na kinds of evidence sa tinatawag natin na classification of evidence. So, ito yung focus natin dito sa subject na to, na ma-discuss natin yung evidence, yung three kinds of evidence sa classification of evidence. So, tandaan niyo magkaiba yung tinatawag natin na classification. So please make sure dapat alam nyo yung title. Okay? The title, the topic, and the keyword. So di ba? It's very important. So again, ang three kinds of evidence natin, we have the DOT, documentary, object, and of course, the testimonial evidence. So yan yung summary ng evidence natin. Then of course, the classification of evidence class is different from kind of evidence. Halimbawa, we have the acronym na DISICOMCORE, PRECON, PRESIC, PRECON, PONY. Okay, ay may familiar ba sa inyong class yung acronym ko na ginawa or hindi? Again, so ang classification of evidence is different from the kind of evidence. So ang classification of evidence class, meron siyang acronym, of course, yung ginawa ng Team Coach Philippines. So we have the DC Comcore, Precon, Pony. So direct, circumstantial, mamaya Comcore, cumulative, corroborative, primary, secondary, prima facie, primary, secondary, prima facie, conclusive, and positive and negative. So mamaya class, so we have the DISICOM core, Precon, CONI. So mamaya, familiar ba sa inyo or hindi?
Sa akin, sir, pamilyar.
Ha? Familiar ba?
Yes, sir. Napanood ko na yan sa live ko sa Facebook, sir.
Oh, very good.
Hindi pa
Okay. So, ayan. So mamaya si negative. Bakit negative? Hindi mo na ano? Hindi mo napanood? So ayan. So yan yung class. Mamaya classification of evidence. Okay. Next. Okay. So of course mamaya class ano natin yung every rule. So of course mag-focus tayo naka-summarize. But of course we will make sure yung tinatawag natin na maka-focus tayo sa pinaka-basic, yung alam nyo talaga yung every content, of course, ng rules natin. Then, of course, we have the Rule 128 class. Yan yung mga general provisions. Yan yung makikita ngayon ang tinatawag natin na pactum probans and pactum probandum. Okay, pag sinabi natin pactum probandum class, what is that? What is pactum probandum? Ano yon? Okay, of course, it is an ultimate fact. So, ang tandaan nyo lang dyan, so yung sa letter U class, okay? So, pactum probandum, ultimate facts to be established. Okay, how about naman yung tinatawag natin na pactum probans? Okay, ano naman si pactum probans? Of course, that is evidentiary facts. Okay, evidentiary facts naman ang tawag natin dyan. Pactum probans. Okay, so yan. Okay, so pactum probans. Evidentiary facts naman yan. Okay, so mamaya malalaman ninyo kung ano yung ibig sabihin or ano yung title ni pactum probandum or pactum probans. Okay, so mamaya kasi i-define natin mamaya what is evidence. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng evidence? Meron tayong tinatawag na issue. Okay, so issue, it is the point or points in question. Kasi di ba kapag may controversy, kapag may kaso, of course, yan yung tinatawag natin na issue. Siyempre, kapag may issue or kapag may kaso, siyempre, ipoprove yan ngayon ng both parties in a case para kung sino yung mananalo or kung sino yung may pinakamalakas na ebidensya. Okay? So, sa parties natin. That is under the Rule 128. Okay? So, mamaya. Okay, so are you familiar, class, with quasi-courts? Okay? Quasi-courts. Quasi-courts. So ano ba yung pagkakaintindi ninyo? Pag sinabi natin quasi-courts, ano yun? Sino yung may idea pag sinabi natin quasi-courts? What is quasi-courts? Not regular court but they conduct trial and hearing. Okay, very good. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin quasi-court class, tama yung mga sagot ninyo ha. So, pag sinabi natin quasi-courts, they are not actually courts but they conduct trial and hearing. So, yung NAPOLCOM, okay? So, yung COMELEC on election-related cases. Ang NAPOLCOM naman sa mga, of course, sa mga police officers na nagkasala or na-involved sa corruption and so on. Then of course, we have the SEC or the Securities and Exchange Commission. So yan yung tinatawag natin na quasi-courts. Okay, so ang quasi-courts class again, they are not actually courts, but they conduct trial and hearing. Okay, so again, we have the COMELEC, the NAPOLCOM, the Securities and Exchange Commission or the SEC. So sila yung tinatawag natin na quasi-courts class. Hindi naman talaga sila korte, but of course, nagkakanak sila ng trial and hearing. So meaning class, ang evidence natin, o ang rules of evidence natin, hindi natin yan pwedeng i-apply sa kanila. Kasi nga, ang rules of evidence natin class, pwede lang natin yan i-apply in a judicial courts. Yung mga korte talaga na MTC, RTC, and so on. So, kasi nga, tinawag siya na quasi-courts. Ibig sabihin, ibig sabihin ng quasi-courts, they are not actually courts but they conduct trial and hearing. So ang tawag natin doon are quasi-courts. Again, of course, marami pa. Civil Service Commission, we have the, of course, any other agencies class, okay, na hindi kasali doon sa korte natin. Ang tawag natin doon are quasi-courts. Ibig sabihin, in their own behalf, or sa kanilang kapangyarihan, pwede silang mag-conduct ng trial and hearing para ma-resolve yung conflict. Okay? Ma-resolve ang conflict other than yung ginagawa doon sa korte. Okay? Quasi-courts ang tawag natin doon. Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, then of course, we have, i-define natin ngayon class, what is evidence, okay? So, i-define natin ngayon what is evidence. So, focus kayo dito class kasi sa definition pa lang, marami na tayong makukuha dito na tanong sa board exam. Pag sinabi natin evidence, it is the means. So, pag sinabi natin means, ito yung pamamaraan or ito yung tool na ginagamit, of course, ng sino? Of course, ng korte. So again, pag sinabi natin evidence class, tandaan nyo, it is the means. Okay? It is the means. Ibig sabihin, ito yung tool or ito yung pamamaraan ng korte sanctioned by these rules. Ibig sabihin, ang nagsasanctions, ang nagbibigay niyan or ang nag-label niyan na dapat sundin ng lahat is the court. Okay? It is sanctioned by these rules of court or the rules of evidence. Ascertaining in a judicial proceeding. Nakalagay dyan. Ascertaining in a judicial proceeding. So meaning, ang evidence class, ang purpose niyan, of course, to be presented as evidence in a judicial proceeding. Ibig sabihin, sa korte. Okay? Ascertaining in a judicial proceeding, ibig sabihin, nangyayari yan sa loob ng korte. Kapag sa labas, of course, hindi natin pwedeng i-apply class ang evidence. Kasi kapag tanongin sa board exam, pwede ba natin i-apply ang rules of evidence in quasi-courts? Of course, no. Saan natin kinuhang sagot? Of course, dito sa definition ng evidence under the rules of evidence. Again, ulitin ko para isa-isay natin. Pag sinabi natin evidence, it is the means or ito yung pamamaraan, ito yung tool, sanctioned by these rules, ibig sabihin, na binigay or inalithala ng korte ascertaining in a judicial proceeding or na nangyayari sa loob ng korte. Then, ang purpose ng tinatawag natin class na pag-present natin ang ebidensya is to know the truth. Okay? Ibig sabihin, di ba? Bakit kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng trial and hearing? Bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng introduction of evidence or offer of evidence? Ang purpose niyan is to know the truth. Kasi di ba ang truth, yan yung gusto natin, ma-achieve natin or makuha natin yung justice na hinahanap ng, of course, ng whether complainant or yung victim natin. Then, of course, we have the respecting a matter of facts. So, tandaan nyo, we have the two types of matters of facts. Ano yun, class? Ano yung dalawang matters of facts na meron tayo under the evidence? Sige, sulat nyo nga class sa ating chat box. Ano yung dalawang matters or matter of facts na pinag-uusapan natin dito? Matters of facts. Okay, so very good. So that is of course that is factum probandum and pactum proband. So very good. Yan yung tinatawag natin na matters of facts. Okay, it is the means sanctioned by these rules of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact. So yan yung definition class ngayon ng tinatawag natin na evidence. Okay, so yan yung definition ng evidence natin. Okay, so okay na ba? Okay, so okay na ba class? Okay, then of course tandaan niyo ang evidence, ang scope niya class, bakit kapag pinatay ko yung camera hindi na babalik? Okay. So tandaan niyo ang evidence, ang scope niya is same in all courts and all trials and hearings except as otherwise provided by law. So yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Okay, na parehas lang yung scope ng tinatawag natin na trial and hearings in court. Okay? So same in all courts and all trials and hearings. Okay? So tandaan niyo hindi natin pwedeng i-apply yung rules of evidence class sa mga quasi-courts na tinatawag natin. So it is only solely applicable class na tinatawag natin judicial proceeding. Ibig sabihin, ng judicial proceeding, nangyayari yung process or nangyayari yung trial and hearing in court. In court na nangyayari. Okay? So let's move on. Okay, tandaan nyo class, we have the rules of admissibility of evidence or yung tinatawag natin na relevant, and of course we have number 2 not excluded by the rules of course. Okay, pakilagay nga sa comment section. So what are the two admissibility or the two types of admissibility of evidence? Ano yung two types ng admissibility of evidence natin? Anong RC? Paki-complete. Okay, very good. So we have the two types of admissibility of evidence. So we have the relevant and of course number 2 not excluded by the law or by these rules. So of course number 1 we have the relevant evidence, so meaning pag sinabi natin relevant evidence class, it is related to the facts and issue or it is connected to the case. Okay? So it is connected by the case. Then of course, number 2 naman, not excluded by the law of these rules. So yan yung admissibility of evidence natin. Not excluded, ibig sabihin, tinatanggap. Okay, kapag sinabi natin not excluded, ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap natin dyan class, okay, it is competent. Okay, it is competent. So kasi not excluded, competent yung evidence na yon. Tinatanggap siya ngayon ng korte. Again, so we have the two types of admissibility of evidence. Number 1 dyan, we have the relevancy or relevant, and of course, number 2, competent. Pag sinabi natin relevant evidence, ibig sabihin it is connected to the issue, to the case, or to the controversy. While not excluded naman, okay, ang not excluded naman does not exclude. Ibig sabihin, tinatanggap ng korte. Yan. Okay, so okay, so relevant, relevant, and of course, then we have the competent. Okay, pag sinabi natin relevant class, again, it is connected to the case and issue. And of course, kapag competent naman, it does not exclude by the rules of court. Okay, so let's move on. Then of course, we have the relevancy and of course, okay, so ano class yung kabaliktaran ng relevant or relevant evidence? Okay, again, ano yung kabaliktaran ng relevant evidence? Okay, so narinig yung class. Okay, so ano yung kabaliktaran or yung opposite class ng relevant evidence? Okay, so very good yung mga ano dito ah. So yung mga students natin. Okay, wait lang i-off ko yung may ano. Okay. So, of course, that is collateral matters. Okay, very good. Okay, so student ko talaga kayo kasi yung, of course, sa ibang school class, hindi nila alam yan na may, ang palagi na lang sa nasagot is irrelevant evidence. Okay? Ang sagot natin dyan, pag sinabi natin relevant evidence, ibig sabihin, ang opposite niyan is the collateral matters. Pag sinabi natin collateral matters, ibig sabihin yun, outside of the controversy. Ibig sabihin, not related to the issue or to the case. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na collateral matters. Again, ang collateral matters, it is outside of the controversy. Then of course, ang collateral matters class, hindi yan tinatanggap class in court or yung tinatawag natin na not connected to the case or in issue or in the controversy, hindi yan talaga tinatanggap ng korte. Okay? So yun yung ano natin, yung dalawang classification or yung sa ating yung sa ating evidence. Okay? So ulitin natin, pag sinabi natin evidence, it is the means sanctioned by these rules of court, ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact. So yan yung tinatawag natin na evidence ngayon. Okay, take note that the scope, Okay, take note that the scope of evidence class is the same in all courts and all trials and hearings, and of course, otherwise provided by law. Okay. So again, pag sinabi nating scope ng evidence, it is the same in all courts and all trials and hearings. Of course, kapag pinrovide yan or otherwise provided by law or of course yung rules of court natin. So tandaan niyo, we have the two types of admissibility of evidence. So we have the relevant and of course we have the competent. Pag sinabi nating relevant evidence, ibig sabihin yan, it is connected to the case or issue or it is connected to the issue or to the controversy. Yan yung tinatawag natin na relevant evidence. Pag sinabi naman nating competent evidence, ibig sabihin, does not exclude by the rules of court. Ibig sabihin, pag does not exclude, tinatanggap yan ng korte. So meaning, it is a competent evidence. Ulitin ko. We have the two types of admissibility of evidence. We have the relevant evidence. It is connected or it is in connection to the case or to the issue, while yung tinatawag natin na competency naman or competent evidence does not exclude by the rules of court or to the rules of evidence. So meaning, kapag does not exclude by the rules of court or to the rules of evidence, tinatanggap yan. Okay, ng korte. So meaning, yung evidence na yan na na-present, it is competent in nature. Okay, yan yung two types or admissibility of evidence na meron tayo. Relevant and competent. And of course, ang scope ng evidence, the same in all courts and all trials and hearings. Okay. So then, of course, take note that yung relevant evidence, ang kabaliktaran niya is of course yung tinatawag natin of course na collateral matters. Okay, ang collateral matters, yan yung tinatawag natin na not allowed or hindi yan tinatanggap ng korte class unless, okay, it will establish a reasonable degree of probability or improbability of the facts or issue. Okay, relevant and collateral matters. Okay, so yan yung ating dalawa. Okay, so again, there is no such thing as what we call irrelevant evidence. Take note, nakuha ba class? Nakuha? Again, there's no such thing as irrelevant evidence. So, ayan. So, very good. Okay, so we have the three kinds of evidence. So, tandaan niyo, we have the three kinds of evidence. So, ano yung pinaka-the best na ano nyo dyan, class, na ginagamit na acronym aside sa DOT, yung DOT? Okay, sige nga. Okay, so aside sa DOT class, ano yung ginagawa ninyo o ginagamit ninyo na acronym? Okay, so i-type ko na lang dito yung ano niyo. So we have the okay, ang ginagamit ko, of course, we have the orthodox. Okay, tandaan niyo kapag sinabi nating three kinds of evidence, ang ginagamit natin diyan na acronym class is the orthodox. Okay? So orthodox. So ano yung O class? Ibig sabihin, ang O class that stands for original, yung R naman tinatawag na natin na real evidence, di ba? Yung T naman, of course, it stands for testimonial or it is an oral. Ang doc naman, of course, that is the documentary evidence. Tandaan nyo, we have the three kinds of evidence. So, yung acronym na gagamitin natin dyan is orthodox. Naririnig nyo ba ako, class? Nasusundan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, ang gagamitin natin, class, aside sa tinatawag natin na DOT, ang gagamitin na natin, class, kapag sa three kinds of evidence is yung orthodox. Okay, so object rather, object evidence or real evidence or yung tinatawag rin natin minsan na autoptic preference. They are one and the same. Then of course, ang testimonial, tinatawag rin natin yan minsan or tinatawag rin natin yan na oral evidence. Then of course, ang pinaka-last is the documentary evidence. So i-explain natin one by one, class, yung three kinds of evidence na meron tayo dito. Okay? So we have the documentary, we have the object, real or autoptic preference. They are one in the same. Then of course, we have the testimonial and oral evidence. Okay. So ulitin natin pag sinabi nating documentary evidence, it is any writing or any material containing letters, words, numbers, or figures, symbols, or other modes of written expression, class. Ang tanda nyo dyan, sa pagkahaba-haba ng definition ng documentary evidence, ang focus natin ngayon is the proof of their contents. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang question ng law or yung question ng batas natin is nakafocus sa proof of their contents or nilalaman ng mga document, halimbawa, ang suicide note, ang question ng batas natin is proof of their contents, ang magiging sagot natin doon is papasok yan sa documentary evidence. Okay, how about naman, class, kapag tinanong ng korte, ang tanong niya ngayon is yung tinatawag natin na existence of the suicide note. Okay, saan siya papasok na kinds of evidence, class? Again, kapag ang tinanong ng korte is based on the existence of the suicide note or the existence of a document, ano yung magiging sagot ninyo? Sige nga. Okay, so ang sagot natin dyan, okay, tandaan nyo, class, that is object evidence. Very good. Tandaan niyo kapag kung ang question is on the proof of their contents, okay, that is documentary evidence. Papasok yan ngayon kapag ang tanong naman is on the content or yung tinatawag natin, yung the existence of evidence or the existence of the document, ang sagot natin doon is object evidence. Okay, so yun kapag ang question ng batas is based on the existence of the document, okay? So kapag ang question ng batas is based on the content of the document, ang magiging sagot ninyo, that is what we call the documentary evidence. Okay, ulitin natin. So, pag sinabi nating documentary evidence, please make sure that kapag ang question is based on the existence of a document, of course, ang sagot nyo dyan, that is object evidence. Bakit, sir? Okay, ganito kasi yan. Pag sinabi nating documentary evidence, of course, it is any signs, symbols, or any materials or figures. Ang purpose niya is to know yung proof of their contents or yung nilalaman ng document. So halimbawa, kapag yung suicide note, i-present mo yan, ang question ng batas or ang question ng law is based on the content of the suicide note. Ang magiging sagot natin dyan, papasok yan ngayon sa tinatawag natin na documentary evidence. Kasi ang tanong niya is based on the content of the suicide note. Tandaan, kapag tanong niya naman or ang question naman is based on the existence ng suicide note na merong suicide note, okay, na nag-i-exist. Ang sagot natin dyan is object evidence o tinatawag na natin na real or autoptic reference. Again, kapag ang tanong is based on the existence of the suicide note or the existence of a document, ile-label natin yan ngayon as object evidence kasi existence na naman ang tinatanong niya. Kapag ang tinanong niya is yung document, it will offer as proof of their contents. Doon ang tanong yung nilalaman ng document, ang magiging sagot natin dyan is documentary evidence. Ibig sabihin, kapag existence, that is object. Kapag naman proof of their contents or yung contents or nilalaman, that is documentary evidence. Nakuha nyo, class? Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nakuha. Okay, ulit ko na. So dapat ano nyo. Then of course, we have the number 2 sa tinatawag natin na object evidence. Ang object, tinatawag rin natin na real or autoptic reference. Tandaan nyo lang, kapag ang object evidence, it is addressed to the senses of court. Of course, dinadala natin yan sa korte class. Okay, yan yung, ang object or real evidence class, tinatawag na natin yan na highest court or the highest order of evidence. Tandaan nyo kapag yung sa 3 kinds of evidence, ang object evidence, it is considered as the highest order of evidence. So meaning, sa 3 sila class, sa object, documentary, and testimonial, ang pinakamataas dyan is what we call the object evidence. Okay, sino yung sumunod class sa tinatawag natin na object evidence? Kasi di ba ang tinatawag natin that object evidence is the highest order of evidence. Sino naman yung second? Okay. So, ayan. Iba-iba yung sagot nyo. May testimonial, may documentary. Okay. So, ganito yan. Okay, so ganito ang order natin, class Kapag ang order of evidence ang pinag-uusapan, okay, order of evidence, ang mauna dyan, of course, si object. Kasunod, si what we call testimonial. And of course, ang pinakalas dyan is the documentary. Okay, so bakit kaya, sir, pinakalas palagi si documentary? Kasi nga, of course, ang documentary evidence, pwede yan, class, ma-doctored. Pwede yan mapalitan, pwede yan madagdagan. Kaya that's why ang documentary evidence, it is considered as, of course, the lowest palagi, di ba? Ang una, we have the object, real or autoptic preference. Kasunod dyan is testimonial. And of course, kasunod naman is the documentary evidence. Okay, of course, ang testimonial evidence, okay, so paano natin yan i-offer? Of course, by narration of events or yung pangyayari and deposition. What is deposition? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Ano yung deposition na to? Yung D-E-P-O-S-I-T-O-N, T-I-O-N, deposition. What is deposition? What is deposition, class? Are you familiar with deposition o hindi? Again, so what is What is deposition? Okay, so very good. Okay. So meaning yung testimony ng witness class was reduced into writing. Ibig sabihin isinulat. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na deposition. Okay? So anything that was reduced into writing, that is deposition. Okay, tandaan niyo ulit So, kapag tinanong is the order of evidence, of course, tandaan, gumawa kayo ng acronym din, class. Dapat meron kayong acronym. OTD. Okay, OTD sorry. Hindi ba ganito yung sulat? What the? Okay, OTD. Okay, basta OTD, that is the order of evidence, kung sino yung pinakamataas. Okay, object, testimonial, of course, ang pinakalas palagi is the documentary evidence. Okay, kapag tinanong naman, okay, so kapag tinanong naman, class, kung sino or ano yung first na i-offer as evidence in court, ano naman yung first natin na i-offer ngayon? Kapag nag-o-offer tayo ng evidence sa korte, ano yung first natin na i-offer? Ano yun? Again, kapag nag-o-offer tayo as evidence or nag-o-offer tayo ng evidence class or ng ebidensya sa korte, ano yung first natin na i-offer? Si Florendo Geyser. Yum Yum. Si Yum Yum. Any other answers? Testimonial. Okay, so very good. Okay, kapag nag-o-offer tayo ng evidence na sa korte, ang first na lalabas or ang first natin na i-offer dyan is the testimonial evidence. Ano naman ang kasunod, class? Ano yung kasunod natin na i-offer ngayon? Again, ano na yung next natin na i-offer? Kasunod na testimonial, class? Of course, the object evidence. Again, si object evidence, yan yung next natin na i-offer sa korte, di ba? So yan yung tinatawag natin na object evidence. Okay, so yan yung object evidence. And of course, ang pinaka-last dyan, palagi nating tandaan na ang pinaka-last kapag i-offer natin evidence sa korte, ang last talaga palagi kahit saan, is the documentary evidence. Okay, medyo delikado kasi ang documentary evidence. Okay, so again, ulitin natin kapag kapag ang question is the order of evidence, yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng evidence natin, class. Una, ang pinakauna dyan is what we call the object or real or topic preference, kasunod ng testimonial. Ang pinakalas naman is what we call the documentary evidence. Kapag ino-offer naman natin sa korte, ang una nating i-offer, of course, the testimonial evidence or yung tinatawag natin na oral. Kasunod naman, of course, yung tinatawag natin ngayon na, of course, object evidence. And of course, ang pinaka-last na i-offer natin, of course, the documentary evidence. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So, yun yung kinds of evidence natin, class. Okay, so dito tayo, of course, okay, so paki-identify, class. Okay, so si affidavit, class, si affidavit, saan siya papasok na kinds of evidence? Again, si affidavit, saan siya papasok na kinds of evidence? Okay. So, affidavit is documentary. Very good. Okay, documentary mamaya. Ay, sorry. Nasagutan ko na ba? Okay, how about yung lapida naman? Yung lapida, nakita nyo ba yung lapida? Yung nakalagay, RIP, rest in peace. Okay, what kind of evidence is that? Ang lapida. Object. Object. Okay, then of course, then we have the marriage contract. Okay, saan naman papasok ngayon si marriage contract class? Documentary. Aha, sige. Tama ba? Again, ang tanong niya marriage contract. Documentary. Okay, check nyo kung tama yung mga sagot niyo kung perfect. Okay. Of course, class, ang affidavit, mali kayo sa number 3, no? Okay, ang affidavit class, of course, that is testimonial. Kaya di ba meron tayong tinatawag na deposition, ibig sabihin, kapag yung witness is hindi makapag-testify, orally, of course, isusulat niya ngayon yung kanyang testimony. Tinatawag yan na affidavit yan. Then ang lapida, of course, it is a documentary evidence kasi ang lapida, of course, ang purpose niya is to convey a message. While ang marriage contract class, that is object evidence. Ang question naman sa marriage contract dito, ang tanong niya lang marriage contract. So that's why it is an object evidence. Kasi nga, existence lang ang tinatanong niya. Kapag yung tinanong niya class is the content of the marriage contract, ang isasagot nyo dyan is what we call the, okay, of course, ang isasagot nyo dyan is documentary. Nakuha nyo? Kung saan kayo nagkamali? Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, di ba? So, nagkamali kayo sa number 3. So, okay lang yan. So, again, class, kapag tandaan niyo, kapag ang question is based on the existence of the marriage contract or the existence of any document, ang sagot doon is object. Kapag ang question naman is based on the contents of any documents, that is what we call the, of course, the documentary. Papasok yan sa documentary. Okay, so pag sinabi natin IUTAB evidence, what is IUTAB evidence, class? Ano yung number 1 na to? What is IUTAB evidence? Pakilagay nga sa may tinatawag na comment section. Sorry. Okay, what is IUTAB evidence? No idea ba? Wala kayong idea? Okay, so ayan. Okay, so pag sinabi natin IUTA overflowing evidence, grabe naman yung overflowing evidence, ha? Sige, any idea pa? What is what we call the IUTAB evidence? Okay, so wala enough evidence. Okay, so wala na. Okay, pag sinabi natin IUTAB evidence, class, that is small amount of evidence or enough evidence to convict a person. Yan yung tinatawag natin na IUTA of evidence. Tandaan niyo, again, IUTA of evidence, that is enough evidence, class, to convict a person of a particular crime. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na IUTA of evidence. Nakuha ba? Okay, so yan yung IUTA of evidence. How about naman yung tinatawag natin na demurrer of evidence? Again, so na-discuss na natin sa criminal procedure. What is demurrer of evidence? Okay, so ano yung tinatawag natin na demurrer of evidence? Sige class, please participate. What is the demurrer of evidence? Isa lang, ay dalawa. Okay, so very good. Insufficient evidence or it is lack of evidence. Yan yung tinatawag natin na demurrer of evidence. Okay, very good. Okay, so na-discuss na natin to sa procedure kaya hindi kayo nagkamali. Then of course, what is quantum of evidence, class? Ano yung tinatawag natin na quantum of evidence? Sorry. What is quantum of evidence? Okay, so what is quantum of evidence? Okay, very good. Okay, that is the weight of evidence. Okay, so proceed tayo dito sa quantum of evidence, class. Ano yung kailangan natin na quantum of evidence in a criminal case? Okay, again, ano yung kailangan natin na quantum of evidence in a criminal case? Okay, as a review, what is the quantum of evidence na kinakailangan natin in a criminal case? Okay, very good. That is proof beyond reasonable doubt. Okay, kailangan natin ng proof beyond reasonable doubt. Okay, how about naman, ano naman yung kinakailangan natin or ano naman ang kailangan natin ngayon kapag in a civil case? Okay, in a civil case naman, ano naman ang kailangan natin ngayon? Okay, very good. That is preponderance of evidence. Okay, preponderance of evidence. Okay, so how about naman yung tinatawag natin ngayon kapag administrative case? Ano naman yung kailangan natin na weight of evidence? Okay. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na substantial evidence. Okay? Substantial evidence. Okay, very good. So yan yung tinatawag na demurrer of evidence. Ang pag sinabi natin iota of evidence, that is the small amount of evidence or enough evidence, class to convict a person. Pag sinabi naman natin demurrer of evidence, insufficient or lack of evidence. Ang quantum of evidence naman, that is the weight. Okay, that is the weight or sufficiency of evidence needed to convict a person. In a criminal case naman, kailangan natin ng proof beyond reasonable doubt. Kapag civil case naman, preponderance of evidence. And kapag sa kapag sa administrative case, kailangan natin ng substantial evidence. Okay? So yun. Okay, so yan, enough or small amount, insufficient amount or weight of evidence needed to convict a person. Okay, so yan ang ating kailangan, class, in different criminal cases or different cases natin. Whether it is a civil, criminal, or administrative case. Nakuha ba? Nakuha? Okay, next. Of course, tandaan ninyo, lack or sufficient or lack or insufficient yan, class, insufficient or inadequate, ibig sabihin hindi sapat or kulang. Lack or insufficient evidence is tantamount to the dismissal of the case. Again, lack or sufficient of evidence is that is tantamount to the dismissal of the case. So ayan, please make sure, please make sure. Again, so we have the requisites of admissibility of evidence. As a review, actually na-discuss ko yan kanina. Again, una, we have the relevant evidence. It is related or connected to the issue or to the case or to the controversy. Pag sinabi naman natin competent, not excluded by the rules of court. Kapag not excluded by the rules of court, ibig sabihin, tinatanggap yan ng korte. Okay? So meaning, binibigyan yan ng value ng korte. So that is the rules of admissibility of evidence. Then, of course, class, we have the classification of evidence. We have the DC Comcore. Okay, sundan nyo So we have the DC Comcore, Precon, Presic, Pony. Again, so we have the classification of evidence. So we have the DC Comcore, Precon, Presic, Pony. So meaning, kailangan natin silang i-group, okay, by twos, okay, para mas madali ninyong ma-memorize or madali ninyong ma-familiarize. Okay, di ba? So, sa Group A, so yan si direct and circumstantial. Sa Group B naman, cumulative and corroborative. We have the prima facie and conclusive. We have the primary and secondary. So, di ba, para mas mabilis class, no? Primary and secondary. And of course, we have the positive and negative. Ulitin natin. In the classification of evidence, kasi iba naman yung tinatawag natin na three kinds of evidence. Yun yung orthodox na meron tayong acronym na ginamit na orthodox. Pagpasok natin or pagpunta natin sa classification of evidence, meron tayong acronym na DC-COMCOR, Pre-Con, Pre-Sic, PONI. Again, ang acronym na ginagamit natin class, under the classification of evidence, we have the DC-COMCOR, Pre-Con, Pre-Sic, PONI. Ang DC or yung DI, of course, that stands for direct evidence. Ito yon. Tandaan niyo, pag sinabi nating direct evidence, it was given by the direct witness or it is given by the, of course, what we call the eyewitness or yung mismong naka-observe or yung mismong naka-witness ng krimen. Okay? So, kaya we have what we call the DC-COMCOR, Pre-Con, Pre-Sic, PONI. Okay. So, ulitin ko. So pag sinabi nating direct evidence, tandaan nyo class? Okay, wait lang. Okay, again, pag sinabi nating direct evidence versus circumstantial evidence, ang direct evidence, it is given by a direct witness o yung tinatawag natin ngayon na eyewitness. Again, tinawag siya na direct witness kasi it is given by the eyewitness. Ibig sabihin kung sino yung naka-witness ng crime, okay, naka-witness na nangyari, that is what we call the eyewitness or the direct witness. Kaya papasok yan ngayon sa tinatawag natin, kapag i-offer natin yung ebidensya na yun, it is a direct evidence. Pag sinabi naman nating circumstantial evidence, okay? Pag sinabi nating circumstantial evidence, ang tanda nyo lang dyan is the existence of a particular facts. Again, tanda niyo, pag sinabi nating circumstantial evidence, it is the existence of a particular facts. So meaning, halimbawa, magkakaroon ng circumstantial evidence kapag halimbawa si Mr. A, nakita niyang pumasok si Mr. B sa kakahuyan na yon. Then si Mr. C naman nakita niya rin na pumasok si Mr. B. Okay, so meaning nagtagpo or yung different situation or circumstances ay magpapatunay na siya yung pumatay, okay, sa victim natin. Yan yung tinatawag natin na circumstantial evidence. Ibig sabihin, the existence of a particular facts, okay? Existence of a particular facts to prove, okay, na of course siya yung pumatay or to prove yung existence or the commission of the crime. Tandaan niyo, ano ang kaibahan ng direct evidence? Ang direct evidence, it is given by a direct witness or yung tinatawag natin na eyewitness. While ang circumstantial evidence naman, ang tanda nyo lang yon is the existence of a particular facts or fact. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na direct versus circumstantial evidence. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Okay, so pag sinabi naman natin ngayon, pag sinabi naman natin ngayong cumulative evidence versus corroborative evidence, ang cumulative evidence, tandaan nyo lang na keyword dyan, is same. Okay, so meaning same character. Kasi yung dalawa na yan, yung cumulative and corroborative, they are considered as additional evidence. Okay? Again, tawag natin sa cumulative evidence and corroborative evidence, they are considered as an additional evidence. Pag sinabi natin cumulative evidence, it is an additional evidence with the same character to prove the same point. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi natin cumulative evidence, it is an additional evidence with the same character tending to prove the same point. While the corroborative evidence, of course, the opposite one. Ang corroborative evidence, of course, ang purpose niya is it is an additional evidence to prove, of course, different character tending to prove the same point. Ulitin nyo. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi natin corroborative, tandaan nyo lang na keyword dyan is different. Okay? Different character to prove the same point. Ulit, pag sinabi natin cumulative, same character, while ang corroborative naman, different character. But of course, ang purpose nila is to prove the same point and they are considered as an additional evidence. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin ngayon na cumulative and corroborative. Okay, so then of course, we have what we call the prima facie. Okay, so let's discuss what we call the prima facie and of course the conclusive evidence. So ano ba yung kabaliktaran or ano ba yung kaibahan ni prima facie evidence kay conclusive evidence? Pag sinabi natin prima facie, ibig sabihin, tandaan nyo lang yung terms na or yung keywords natin na it can stand alone or standing alone and uncontradicted. Ibig sabihin, it is sufficient to maintain yung tinatawag natin na proposition or to affirm the proposition. Halimbawa, yung dead body. It is a prima facie evidence na merong homicide or merong patayan na nangyari. Ibig sabihin, it can stand alone. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin ng prima facie evidence. Again, it is sufficient to maintain the proposition or yung kaso or yung argument being affirmed. So yan yung tinatawag natin na prima facie evidence. Pag sinabi naman natin conclusive evidence, it is a kind or it is a classification of evidence that the law does not allow to be contradicted. Again, tandaan niyo, pag sinabi naman natin conclusive evidence, it is a kind or it is the classification of evidence rather that the law does not allow to be contradicted. So ano yung example or ano yung best example natin, sir? Kapag sinabi natin conclusive evidence, of course, ang pinaka-best example dyan is the DNA. The DNA is an example of a conclusive evidence. The law does not allow to be contradicted. Kasi di ba, pag sinabi natin DNA, that is the most recent and the most indispensable science wherein the result of the DNA is beyond question. It cannot be contradicted. So meaning, yung result ng DNA or yung DNA profiling or the DNA fingerprinting is beyond question. Hindi mo pwedeng i-question yan kasi that is accurate. 100%. Kasi di ba, yung DNA natin, it may be similar but it will never be identical. So again, sinasabi ng batas natin, that is conclusive evidence. The law does not allow to be contradicted kasi it is indispensable. The result of this evidence or yung DNA evidence natin is beyond question, kaya papasok yan sa conclusive evidence. Ulitin natin. Pag prima facie evidence, ibig sabihin, it can stand alone. Okay? So then, of course, yung conclusive evidence that it does not allow or yung kind of evidence or classification of evidence that the law does not allow to be contradicted. Hindi mo pwedeng kontrahin kasi the result is accurate. Yan na yun. Okay? Yan yung prima facie or conclusive evidence. Okay? Yan yung conclusive or primary or conclusive evidence. Then, of course, we have the primary and secondary evidence. So, ano naman yung kaibahan ni primary evidence sa kay secondary evidence? Ganito na yung kasimple yan. Pag sinabi natin primary evidence, ibig sabihin the document itself or yung tinatawag natin ngayon na original document. Again, pag sinabi natin primary evidence, ibig sabihin siya yung binibigyan ng malaking consideration or malaking value. Kaya nga tinawag siya na primary evidence kasi ang hinahanap ng korte is the document itself or yung tinatawag natin na original document. Kasi nga, under the law, walang substitute yung tinatawag natin na original document or the primary evidence na tinatawag natin. So, anong mangyayari, sir, kapag in the absence of original document or yung tinatawag natin na primary evidence? That's the time papasok ngayon si secondary evidence. Again, papasok lang si secondary evidence in the absence of primary evidence. Kasi sa secondary evidence, tinatawag natin yan na substituted evidence. Again, ang secondary evidence, tinatawag natin yan na substituted evidence. So meaning, papasok lang siya, okay? Papasok lang yan siya kapag, okay, wala sa eksena or in the absence or absent yung tinatawag natin na original document or yung tinatawag natin na document itself. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi nating primary evidence, of course, that is the document itself or the original document. Again, walang katumbas or walang kapalit ang original document o yung tinatawag natin na primary evidence. Siya yung binibigyan ng malaking value or consideration ng korte. Then, papasok lang sa eksena si secondary evidence kapag in the absence of an original document. Kaya nga, tinawag siya ngayon as a secondary evidence. Again, tinawag siya na secondary evidence kasi nga siya lang is a substitute, okay, in the absence of an original document. Okay, I hope it's clear. Pag sinabi nating primary, ibig sabihin the original document. Secondary naman, the substituted document. Okay. Then of course, we have the positive evidence naman, class. Okay, ang positive evidence. So ano ba yung kaibahan ng positive evidence sa tinatawag natin na negative evidence? So ganito yan. Pag sinabi nating positive evidence, ibig sabihin, the person, okay, who witnessed the crime denies the occurrence or the facts. Tandaan niyo again, pag sinabi nating positive evidence, the person denies the occurrence of facts. Sinasabi niya na hindi niya na-witness, hindi niya nakita, or hindi niya na-obserbahan yung tinatawag natin na commission of the crime. So that's why it is a positive evidence. Okay, positive evidence, mali pala. Ulitin natin. Pag sinabi nating positive evidence, class, ibig sabihin, the person who witnessed the crime or who witnessed the commission of the crime affirms. Ibig sabihin, pinatotohanan niya or sinasabi niya that he witnessed or she witnessed the occurrence or the event or yung facts na tinatawag natin. Again, pag sinabi nating positive evidence, the person who witnessed the crime or witnessed the occurrence affirms na meron talagang nangyaring krimen or merong nangyaring ganito, patayan, barilan. So that is a positive evidence. Papasok sa negative evidence kapag yung person who witnessed the crime or the person denies, again, tanda nyo, denies the occurrence of facts or the event. So that's why it is a negative evidence. Ulitin natin, ang positive evidence, the person affirms, yung word lang na affirms, while yung yung negative evidence naman, the person denies the occurrence or the existence of an event or a facts. Again, so yan yung classification of evidence natin. So we have the DC Comcore, Precon, Presic, Pony. So ayan, so na-discuss ko na klasa in detail. So balikan nyo lang mamaya. Pinaulit-ulit ko. So walang rason na hindi nyo makuha yung the different classification of evidence. So again, we have the DC Comcore, Precon, Presic, Pony. Yan yung tinatawag natin na classification of evidence. Of course, iba naman yung tinatawag natin na kinds of evidence, yung orthodox naman yun. Okay? So, ayan. So, dyan muna tayo mag-end class sa evidence. Actually, na-discuss na natin lahat ng pinaka-importante sa evidence. But of course, bukas, ano na lang, konting review sa evidence before tayo mag-proceed sa ibang area. So, I hope nakuha nyo na yung classification of evidence, yung kinds of evidence, and so on. Then, bukas, i-discuss natin yung mga witnesses. Sino yung sa witness para mas maintindihan ninyong mabuti. Okay? So, naintindihan nyo ba, class, yung classification of evidence? Ito? Naintindihan niyo?
Yes, sir.
Paki-confirm. Okay, very good. Okay, so ayan. So, yan na yung pinaka-the best explanation, class, in the classification of evidence. Kaya kapag pumunta ako sa ibang university, ibang review center, amazed sila na ganun pala dapat ang gawin doon. Ibay tus, di ba? So para mas maintindihan niyo, ang tawag ng technique natin doon, class, is isolation technique. Okay? Isolation technique ang tawag natin doon. Okay? So magkita-kita tayo ulit bukas. Ano pala, class, yung mga hindi naka-down payment, so make sure na na-settle ninyo. Then of course, yung payment ninyo hanggang this October. Okay, pwede kayong mag-full payment or pwedeng 1,000. Kasi 'di ba every month installment naman 'yon. So para hindi malaki. ang ano niyo. So ano lang, konti lang naman yung ating tuition. Okay, di ba? So dapat ano niyo please make sure na ma-settle niyo. Doon lang i-send kay Realin Patches para kasi meron doon ng record ninyo. Doon ang record ninyo kung yung date ng payment so para makita natin. Okay? So kapag may mga sir, classification of evidence pa lang sulit na. Yes, di ba? Okay, so yan yung classification of evidence, di ba? Inulit-ulit ko, nandyan na lahat. Di ba mas klaro? Okay, so yun. Dati ko nung nag-aaral pa ako, hindi ko alam yan or hindi ko maintindihan. Okay, so thank you everyone class. So para ma-isuhan na rin kayo ng Certificate of Enrollment. Okay. Yes, matapos natin. Actually, sa November, tapos na natin lahat ng area. Tatagal lang tayo, class, sa tatagal lang tayo sa criminal law kasi kailangan yung foundation ninyo, tatagan natin ang foundation ninyo sa criminal law kasi kapag sa ibang area, madali lang naman yan. Okay. Ako rin ngayon lang natuto. Okay. Ngayon lang natuto pata. Okay, so it's a tie. Okay. Sige, don't worry class. Bukas, okay ba kayo early bukas? Mga siguro, mga 1 p.m. Okay na ba sa inyo? 1 p.m. or hindi kayo available? Pwede tayong mag-overtime bukas class. Pwede tayong, may work po sila. Okay. So yung yung wala, okay, yung wala bukas kasi tayo 1:30 hanggang 4:30. Then sa gabi naman mag 6:30 to 8:30 tayo para mag-overtime tayo matapos natin matapos natin ang criminal law para makaproceed tayo sa court testimony and book 2. Okay? So bukas 1:30 magbigay lang ako ng link class sa ating Of course, yung hindi makahabol class, may panggabi tayo para mag-overtime tayo. Okay? Sige, i-close na natin yung ating, sorry. Okay, so wait lang, sana yung recording. Kakagaling ko lang kasi